everyone. Today we have with us Stuti Agarwal and Kushal Garg from Jindal Global Law School, who have emerged as the winners of the national competition on negotiating transactional documents organized by UPES School of Law. Firstly, big congratulations to you for your success in the competition. Before we begin talking about your competition journey, I request you to please introduce yourselves to the audience.
Sure. Um, Firstly, thank you so much for having us here today. And I'm Stuti Agarwal. I'm a fourth year law student now in Jindal Global Law School. I'm pursuing BA and MB there. And yeah, I look forward to the discussion today.
Thank you for the session. My name is Kushal Garg. I've just completed my 10th semester of in Jindal Global Law School, and I'm looking forward to what's next. Thank you.
Right. To start off the discussion, please tell us about the nature and the structure of this competition and also about your team composition.
Sure. So the competition, as you rightly mentioned, it was on transacting documents, negotiation documents. The competition basically revolved around giving us a real world understanding of how mergers and acquisitions work and the various documents involved in the process, as well as the various stages of the process. So we had definitely prelims, quarters, semis, and finals, as with any other competition. And so this was a client negotiation competition, meaning that both me and Kushal were counsel sorry I'm really sorry it was a counsel negotiation competition, meaning both me and Kushal were representing the company, which was either the target company or the company that was the acquirer in the negotiation rounds. The Broadly, it was structured in three stages. Firstly, wherein we had to uh, discuss the term sheet itself in the quarters. In the semis, we had to discuss the due diligence report that had been given to us. And the final round, we had to renegotiate on certain terms of the term sheet to be able to close the deal. So, as you can see, the competition in itself was structured in a way that gave us an understanding of how a merger acquisition deal proceeds in the real life. If Kushal has anything to add to this.
Yeah, and in addition to that, it was a fully physical competition. We had the opportunity to go to the beautiful city of Dehradun and enjoy the physical presence. And the campus is also surrounded with mountains all around. So even after the competition, the weather and the surrounding was, I mean, it was amazing to begin with. So I think that actually helped in the next round of the competition after the first round to calm yourself down and then prepare for the upcoming round in amidst awaiting for the results.
It must have, yes. Can you tell us when you started preparing for the competition and can you break down your preparation for journey for us in terms of your research and the presentation strategy? So in these competitions, along with the prior preparation, the focus is also more on how you present it. So how was it for you?
So, if I remember correctly, we began our preparation around a week or 10 days ago. We actually had the general information in place along with the registration of the competition. So, the general information consisted of the term sheet that is prepared by one of the parties, along with the background information of both the companies. So, we had a target company, we had an acquirer company. So we had the background information of both these companies, how giant the company is, the subject, the sector area that the company is functioning in, what is the purpose of the particular acquisition, what is the aim, what is the motivation of a particular company at hand. So we had those information. We had certain clauses of the term sheet, the indemnity clause, the employment agreement, and all of that. So we initially started going through the general information as much as we can. So it is not just about going through the information once and then preparing about it, but going through the information again and again. Because even if you know a particular clause, going through that clause again and again helps you get something of the clause which you might not be aware in the first place. So, and coupled with that, the background information of the company lets you come up with creative solutions in the first place. So, for example, if I know that this particular company is motivated to good for education, then I might be able to mold a particular clause in the term sheet and have it in my notes, which is favoring that particular motive of the company. And if I know the other side is also favoring education, then I can use this particular information in making a clause in such a way that is readily acceptable by the other party. So I think these particular nuances is something which you can prepare beforehand, and this is actually helpful because you have to come up with creative solutions in these negotiation competitions. And with respect to the general clauses, I think we both had went through it, and we had also studied commercial contract drafting in our law school. So I think that particular the insights from that particular subject has helped us in redrafting the clauses which is already present. So we actually didn't know which side we will be representing, so we had to prepare for both the sides. So we took the time period that we have in preparing for both these sides, for example making a particular clause from both the companies end as to how one particular company would prefer it. So I think going through the general information again and again, preparing clauses and changing the clauses, so to say, which could have helped you in your particular round, is something we focused on initially because we didn't have confidential information. So we didn't really know as to what other aspect we could have, we would eventually get in the CI that we have to mold the clauses to. So I think preparing generally helps a lot in these competitions.
Right. In your opinion, what are the specific skills that are crucial for excelling in these kinds of competitions? And how do you believe can students develop these skills while in law school?
I think, as with every other law competition that we are exposed to during law school, speaking is primary, right? Because you have to address the other party, you have to address the judges in a way that is pleasant. So, developing your speaking skills would definitely take you a very long way. Other than that, I think this is a very interesting competition which sets it apart from how moods are structured, which is what law students are usually aware of. That is mood competitions. But herein, I think being patient, being able to listen to the other party comes in very handy, because only when you listen to what the other party has to say will you be able to inculcate their suggestion in your points in a way that the judges think that you are on the table to negotiate today, right? And other than that, I think just being patient and being very aware of the situation, being at the moment. No matter how much preparation you have done, you can never accurately predict what the other party is going to say. So the other party strategies focus present over there and able to brainstorm at the very instance is very important, I think, to be able to succeed in a competition like this. So apart from speaking, obviously your presentation skill, the way you sit, your body language, and just being able to, as I said, understand and listen to the other party and make them feel heard is very important when it comes to competitions like these. I am very sorry, could you just repeat the second part of your question and maybe Kushal could take?
How do you believe can students acquire these skills or develop these skills while they are in law school?
Right. So I think law school in general does help us prepare for these things in different instances. For example, through various competitions, right? We have different area competitions, group competitions, wherein we test our speaking, our presentation skills, our research skills, drafting skills regularly. Apart from that, I think just having a peer group discussion regarding various topics and being able to engage in class participation, being able to use presentations in class as an opportunity to just test yourself and better yourself can be a really good way wherein we can hone these skills. Also, I think every college does have intra-college competitions regarding ADR or negotiations or moods. So definitely, I would encourage everyone to participate in those, because even if you don't come out victorious, you do learn a lot in the process, and that is what matters in the end. Just you being able to learn and just better yourself. So I think law school does give us a lot of opportunities to acquire these skills, and they are very helpful in the long run as well.
And in addition to that, I think confidence and flexibility are something which can definitely help in these competitions. So I remember in the final round, it was around 8 a.m. in the morning, and I was preparing my tie. And when I went into the competition, I saw a room was almost full with students, not only students, but also professors from UPES and the drafters of the problems themselves. So I was a bit I mean, I had to face that, and I had to tell myself that it's okay. We have already prepared about the competition. So, irrespective of the number of people that are there in the room, we need to go ahead and give our best as we have already prepared ourselves with. So I think that particular confidence is necessary, irrespective of who is actually witnessing the competition, and irrespective of the judges that are present in the competition. Because in this particular competition, you don't have to talk to judges, you have to talk to the opposite party and come up with an agreement. So I think for you, it is only your co-counsel and the opposition counsels that are there in the room, and no one else. So I think having that confidence actually helps. And with respect to flexibility, I think there were times that we had only confidence information from our side. So we had come up with clauses which we initially thought that are best to go with. But since we were not aware with the particular clause or the particular CA of the other side, the preparation that we had with respect to a particular clause could fall apart in the actual negotiation round. So I think one needs to be flexible and have that mindset before approaching the competition, so that you don't end up doing at that particular moment something which could backfire you later. So I think preparation is important, but also having this aspect of flexibility is equally important in these competitions.
Right. So lastly, in one line, what can you say was the one learning you took back from the competition?
I think it is having belief in yourself and your teammate that is very crucial, because you cannot really know the entirety of the subject matter, because there is so much to learn, so much to also gain in the practical aspect of a life later on. So, but if you have belief in yourself, your basic understanding is clear, and you have trust in your teammate, I think that particular aspect can go a long way of irrespective of what the problem is at hand.
Yes, Tuti.
Yeah, in addition to what Kushal said, I think the feedback that we got after each round was very helpful. It was very insightful, and it also helped us better our performance in the subsequent rounds. And I think, yeah, in general, just understanding where we could have performed better, what were the things that we could have worked on better, what were the points that we could have brought up, how could we have convinced them better. I specifically remember this one thing, which I think will be very helpful for anyone who's going into such competitions as well, which was the feedback we had received in the final round, was that when you're coming to a negotiation table, you should be able to negotiate. You shouldn't be so stuck on one particular point to not be able to budge from it. So this one particular judge had advised that we come up with when preparing, we come up with a set of agendas which are uh, which are must-haves, which are ideally have, and which are negotiable. And that just helps us understand what is the scope of a negotiation, what are the particular points that we have to negotiate on, and to what extent. So I think, as Kushal also said, being flexible also in terms of what you're negotiating on, and in general. So I think that is one of the biggest takeaways from the competition, other than obviously the great people and the amazing memories we made.
All right, team. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your journey with our audience. I'm certain that they will benefit greatly from your insights. Keep up with the competitions and all the very best for your journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much for causing
Thank
the
you so
interview.
much.